Authority local forecast.
Welcome back, everybody. Near record to record heat translating into a warmer night here at home. Let's take a look at your RV World Yuma Skycam just to give you a glimpse. 4th Avenue in Yuma. Here's what else we got. Smoke and fire concerns remain in California, and you see a denser smoke area near the actual Fresno area and even spilling over into Bakersfield as well. Pretty quiet though the rest of the way, or at least the rest of the Golden State. So some pretty good news there. And as you can see, as far as the weather's concerned, we got a little bit in the northern tier, and that is pretty much about it from that particular vantage point. Now closer to home, we're looking at temperatures either in the 80s or in some cases even in the high-end 70s as well. Calipatria, Imperial, I'm referring to you guys. All right, further to the east, yes, for the most part, we're talking 80s with the exception of the foothills area, still holding on to dear life for the lower 90s. And of course, the setup for today, well, we've had that above normal feel, all because of ridge high pressure further to the west that's kind of instigated that. So we're continuing to get the importation of that hotter air, and that's not going to be quitting, at least not for the next few days. So that high pressure is definitely going to have its influence on us. So we are going to continue to be under that ridge bubble at least for the next 4 days before we start to feel a little bit different, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But as far as your mañana is concerned, we'll be in the low end 100s. So if anything, we may dial it back just a little bit. Not much, but just a little bit. And as you can see over in the Yuma side of things, for the most part, we're talking low 100s as well as far as your forecast is concerned. Now here's what we're going to be looking forward to. Your Metrocast, 69 degrees by 8 a.m. We should check in around that century mark around the 2 p.m. hour. And then we'll get back down again into the 90s as we get on into the evening time. Here's a look at your Yuma International Extended Forecast, your Yuma International Airport Extended Forecast, excuse me. As you can see, we have the 100-plus degree days for the next couple of days, or at least the next 4 days. And then we dial it back into the 90s as we get on into the second half of your forecast. And of course, we're going to continue to keep that going as well in the Imperial Valley. So we could be talking record and near record heat again for the next day or so before we dial it back further, and then we'll dial it back even further than that. So believe it or not, we could potentially even get into the high-end 80s as we get on into next Thursday. It's just going to be a waiting game for us to get to that particular point.